and it was bound to happen. Hey friends, it's Alex and welcome back to my channel. It has once again been a while. I really am hoping to get back into it kind of regularly or semi-regularly or whatever. This time, fingers crossed, we'll see. So today's video I'm sharing my April / Magical Readathon TBR. It is already, what day is it? I don't know. The 4th. It's already the 4th of April and I'm only just filming this now because I am not organised. But yeah, so G at Book Roast is hosting her Magical Readathon. This is like the first time that she's hosting it with her own world that she's created and I'm really excited. I say the first time, she did like a readathon, Magical Readathon within her own world last year, but it was like part 1 of this set of readathons. I also did not complete that readathon, but I'm just going to pretend I did because I was just having a struggle with reading and I just want to give myself a pass. So I'm doing that. So the readathon last year was like the novice path, and it's like you have to go around this path to get to the school that we are now attending this round, I think. And so I think you only needed to read 2 books for the novice path readathon to like pass, and I read 2.5, so I'm counting it. The thing I haven't really done properly is my character creation, which could have been done anytime between like September last year and the beginning of April. I haven't done it, but I have also not really paid attention to what books I've read that could fit for my character creation, so I may have done it for all I know. I'm going to work that out later. So I ended up going with an Earthling from Etheria, and my background was wilding just because I liked the way it sounded. I spent ages trying to decide, and I eventually decided to go with what I liked the sound of as opposed to what worked for me with the prompts. So that's what I did. So I still need to figure out if I've read a book that features fae or elven characters. I really have. Yeah, see, like I say, I've done the prompts, I just haven't really been paying attention to it, so I've done that one. And then a book largely set in a forest / outside, that one I'm not so sure about, so I need to check. But like I say, I'm pretending I have because I want to. So this round of the Magical Readathon is like the first year of school, kind of. And so you like pick a career and you read the prompts towards that career, and then I think it's usually around August, the next round. At that point it'll be like the 2nd year of school, and the way it's worked in the past is if you didn't pass a subject in the 1st year, you can't take it in the 2nd year. And on the career card it tells you what subjects you need to pass in the 1st year and then what subjects you need to take in the 2nd year, so you can like plan it ahead. So my career that I've chosen is Godseer. I know I just said I wasn't trying to pick based on the prompts, but this one I did partly pick based on the prompts, and also each career has key traits and I felt like these key traits fit me the best, so I went with that. So the key traits were devoted, loyal and trustworthy, and then the subjects I need to pass are Astronomy, Inscription, Psionics and Divination, Restoration, Conjuration, Demonology and Law. So yeah, I picked it because it had like a good number of prompts. Some of them only have like 3 prompts for the career and I wanted more than that, so this one has 7. And it also managed to help me fit in some books that I really want to read this month / need to read. So that's why I've done that, and I'm looking forward to doing it. And then in my next year I'll need to read, I can't remember. Do you know what, I'm just gonna leave. This is very rambly, I'm out of practice, I'm so sorry. I'm just going to leave G's announcement video in the description below and you can get all the details there. So this is my stack of books that I want to read in April for the Magical Readathon. I have 2, oh this is heavy, hello. I have 2 very chunky ones here. So that will be interesting, but this one I'm going to audiobook and this one I've already started, so it's okay. I can hopefully manage it. like I say, I did want to challenge myself a bit, and I've not been reading as much per month as I used to. So I always feel like with readathons I read more, and so I'd like to see if I can kind of go back up there a bit. Even if it's just for this 1 month, it would be nice. So I'll go through the prompts and, well, the subjects and the prompt with the subject and what I'm reading for that subject. So my first subject is astronomy, and the prompt for that one is top of your to be read list. And so I picked the book that I was going to start reading next anyway, and that is House of Sky and Breath by Sarah J Maas. I've just reread House of Earth and Blood in March in preparation to read this, and now I'm finally getting to it. I can't wait. I'm very nervous about it, but I'm also very excited to finally dive in. I'm already this far through, not very far. It's like 800 pages and I'm on page 59. But yeah, I'm already getting sucked straight back into the world and the characters, and I really, really can't wait to get back into it. And I can't tell you what this one's about because it's a sequel, and I can't tell you what the first one's about because I left it over there and I'm really bad at synopses. But I will leave the link to all these books in the description below so you can check them out. So my next subject is Inscription, and the prompt for that one is intimidating read, and I kind of struggled with what to choose for this one because I don't really have many books on my TBR currently that I feel like are intimidating, and I'm not really that intimidated by like long books because I love fantasy and a lot of fantasy are very long. So I struggled a bit with what to choose for this one, but I ended up going with Elatsoe by Darcy Little Badger, mainly just because it's not really the type of thing I normally read, and so I don't know if I'm going to like it, and that kind of makes me a bit like intimidated to go into it. But I really do want to give it a go because I've heard that the main character is Ace, I think, or at least there's an Ace character in here. I think it's main character, which makes me very excited to read it. And I shall read you the synopsis for this one. So it says, imagine an America very similar to our own. It's got homework, best friends, and pistachio ice cream. There are some differences. This America has been shaped dramatically by the magic, monsters, knowledge, and legends of its peoples, those indigenous and those not. Some of these forces are charmingly everyday, like the ability to make an orb of light appear or travel across the world through rings of fungi. But others are less charming and should never see the light of day. Elatsoe lives in this slightly stranger America. She can raise the ghosts of dead animals, a skill passed down through generations of her Lipan Apache family. I think that's how you say it because I remember I looked it up previously. Her beloved cousin has just been murdered in a town that wants no prying eyes, but she's going to do more than pry. The picture-perfect facade of Willoughby masks gruesome secrets, and she will rely on her wits, skills and friends to tear off the mask and protect her family. Sounds interesting. Like I say, it's not really something I would generally pick up, but I am intrigued to give it a go and see what I think. The next subject is Psionics and Divination, and the prompt for that one is a book set in the future, and for that one I have picked a book that will make Nikki very, very happy. And I will be reading The Long Way to a Small Angry Planet by Becky Chambers. I've been meaning to read this one for ages. I even have got this one signed, and I'm like 90% sure that would have been before COVID, so I've been meaning to read this one for a very, very long time now, and I'm really excited to finally get to it. I've heard amazing things about this series, and I've been, like I said, I've been dying to dive into it for the longest time. It's a sci-fi series, and I don't read enough sci-fi and need to read more sci-fi, so yeah, gonna start with this one. And the synopsis says, when Rosemary Harper joins the crew of the Wayfarer, she isn't expecting much. The Wayfarer, a patched up ship that's seen better days, offers her everything she could possibly want. A small quiet spot to call home for a while, adventure in far off corners of the galaxy, and distance from her troubled past. But Rosemary gets more than she bargained for with the Wayfarer. The crew is a mishmash of species and personalities. From Sissix, the friendly reptilian pilot, to Kizzy and Jenks, the constantly sparring engineers who keep the ship running. Life on board is chaotic, but more or less peaceful, exactly what Rosemary wants. Until the crew are offered the job of a lifetime, the chance to build a hyperspace tunnel to a distant planet. They'll earn enough money to live comfortably for years, if they survive the long trip through war-torn space without endangering any of the fragile alliances that keep the galaxy peaceful. But Rosemary isn't the only person on board with secrets to hide, and the crew will soon discover that space may be vast, but spaceships are very small indeed. My favourite kind of sci-fi is sci-fi set like in space, on spaceships. I love it, it's so good. So I'm definitely keen to check this one out. And this one also counts towards the buzzword challenge that Kayla from Books and Lala is hosting. I think let me check. The buzzword for April is big and little, and so I've decided that small counts because I didn't have anything with big or little in it. So that is killing two birds with one stone with this book, which we love. So the next prompt, or the next subject, is restoration, and the prompt that goes with that is book featuring healers, and that's one I struggled with a lot until Nikki again reminded me that this series, the main character is a healer, and as she said, it's not necessarily like the main focus of the series, but she is a healer, so I'm counting it. And this is book 3 in a series, and it's been a very long time since I read book 1, so I don't really remember what it's about, but I remember really enjoying it, so I need to like find a recap of the first 2 books, and then I'm planning on listening to this one on audio because that's how I read the first 2 and I enjoyed it, and I'm just really excited to finally see how this series ends, and also to get another series off my TBR because I'm in the middle of so many series and it's annoying me. And yeah, this is my other chunky one. It is not as big as A House of Sky and Breath. Well, I say that, it's actually bigger than I thought. It is over 700 pages. I thought it was more like 600 pages. In that case, it's nearly as big as House of Sky and Breath. So yeah, wish me luck in finishing these 2 this month and actually getting to other books as well. The next subject is Conjuration, and the prompt is a source of light on the cover, and for that one I have gone with Storm by Bridget Camera. Bridget is one of Bee's favourite authors, and I've been meaning to pick this series up for ages. Bee really likes this series, and I thought why not just pick it up. It's also one of the books that I want to try and get to this year, that I've like challenged myself to read this year, and I am in such a romance mood lately, but not in the mood for like contemporary romance. I'm massively in the mood for fantasy romance, which is why I'm reading House of Sky and Breath. And so I thought I would pick this one up for this prompt. It's not a fantasy romance, it's paranormal romance, but I figured that was close enough. We'll see how I find it. To be honest, I'm not really expecting it to be like one of my new favourite books of all time, but I am kind of expecting to just really enjoy it. Like most other paranormal romances I've read, they've just been fun and easy to get through and enjoyable, and that's mainly what I'm expecting from this one. And I shall read you the synopsis as well. Becca Chandler is suddenly getting all the guys, all the ones she doesn't want. When she saves Chris Merrick during a fight, everything is about to change. Chris is different from the guys at school, really different. He can control water just like his brothers can control fire, wind and earth. The brothers are powerful and dangerous, and now that Becca knows the truth, so is she. When the mysterious new kid, Hunter, turns up, Becca thinks she can trust him, but when he goes head to head with Chris, Becca's left wondering who's hiding the most dangerous truth of all. So the next subject is Demonology, and the prompt is a book with the word shadow in the title, and for that one I have gone with The Shadows Between Us by Trisha Levenseller. I read Warrior of the Wild by Trisha Levenseller a while ago and I really enjoyed it, so I've been meaning to read more of her books for a while, and it was bound to happen. And this one fit one of the prompts, so I thought I would fit it in. This is the really stunning Fairy Loot edition. The regular edition is red and I don't like it as much. I love this purple one. And it's also got this rose embossed on the cover and then this like super shiny foiled spine. I love it. And once again I shall read you the synopsis. I did not realise this, but her name is really similar to mine, so that's cool. Okay, so it says, Alessandra is tired of being overlooked, but she has a plan to gain power. 1. Woo the Shadow King. 2. Marry him. 3. Kill him and take his kingdom for herself. No one knows the extent of the freshly crowned Shadow King's power. Some say he can command the shadows that swirl around him to do his bidding. Others say they speak to him, whispering the thoughts of his enemies. Regardless, Alessandra knows what she deserves, and she's going to do everything within her power to get it. But Alessandra's not the only one trying to kill the king. As attempts on his life are made, she finds herself trying to keep him alive long enough for him to make her his queen, all while struggling not to lose her heart. After all, who better for a Shadow King than a cunning, villainous queen? So this sounds awesome, and like there's maybe more romance, which I'm here for. And then my last subject is lore, and the prompt for that one is to read a mythology-inspired book. And for that one I've gone with another book that has shadow in the title, and I didn't realise it had shadow in the title until about half an hour ago. The book is Gods of Jade and Shadow by Silvia Moreno Garcia. I've had this book for a while, I've been meaning to read it for a while. I also have a lot of Silvia Moreno Garcia's books, and I haven't read any of them yet, so this will be my first one, and I'm really excited to finally pick one of her books up. And I have been told that this one is inspired by Aztec mythology, and I really love reading mythology inspired books that are inspired by mythologies from other cultures and mythologies I don't necessarily know. I find it just so interesting and makes like for really unique books, and I just love it. So I'm really excited to dive into this one. And for the last time, I will read you the synopsis. The Jazz Age is in full swing, but Cassiopeia Tunn is too busy scrubbing floors in her wealthy grandfather's house to do more than dream of a life far from her small town in southern Mexico, until the day she accidentally frees an ancient Mayan god of death who offers her a deal. In return for Cassiopeia's help in recovering his throne, he will grant her whatever she desires. From the jungles of Yucatan to the bright lights of Mexico City and deep into the darkness of Xibalba, the Mayan underworld, Cassiopeia's adventure will take her on a perilous cross-country odyssey beyond anything she's ever known. Success will make her every dream come true, but failure will see her lost forever. And I've heard lots of good things. So those are all the books I'm planning to read in April. Hopefully I will get through them all. I honestly don't know if I will or not. I have not been reading that much each month for a very long time, so we will have to see, but fingers crossed. Hopefully the readathon kind of motivates me, and I've been in much more of a reading mood lately, but I also don't know if that's just because I'm reading Sarah J Maas, and I find her books just so addictive and so easy to like get into, and also really easy to like pick up again, if that makes sense. So we'll see. Maybe I'll read lots, maybe I won't, but okay, my camera just cut off and I have no idea where I was up to, but yeah, those are what I'm planning to read in April. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe and comment if you haven't, and like if you're planning on doing this readathon too, like comment down below, let me know what you're reading, what career you're going for, all that stuff, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!